In this video, I want to show you how you can get set up on the virtual lab, which you can use to access the software and programs and the data that we'll be using in class. You can also, of course, use a fixed physical lab on campus, but this allows you to frees you up to access this stuff from your own computer, any place that has internet connection. I'm going to show you how you can download VMware Horizon Client, which is the only software that you need to download on your own computer. That's the software that allows you to tunnel into the remote desktop or the virtual lab. I'll show you how to log in, map network drives, create a folder for yourself, and create shortcut icons for the software programs that we'll be using. Okay. The first thing would be to install VMware Horizon Client on your own computer. If you're on CC's webpage, if you just do a search for VMware, the very first thing that pops up usually is connect to campus network resources from off campus. This is relevant for off campus, but it also works if you're on campus. I'm going to let this web page do the work for me. Just read it carefully, go slowly, follow every little step, and it'll walk you through the process. Okay, so I'm going to assume you can follow that web page to install VMware Horizon Client. Once you've got that all set up, you'll have a little icon you can double click. You'll see view.coloradocollege.edu. The reason you'll see that is because of what the web page walked you through. You'll double click on that, and then you'll log in using your CC username and password. Now you might see different icons, but you should see Academic Virtual Lab, and that's the one you want. You'll double click on that, and this will load the virtual lab. Now sometimes this can take just a few seconds, and sometimes it can take minutes, and I'm not sure why. I'm always working with ITS to see if they can speed things up. But don't be surprised if this literally takes a lot of minutes. Most recently, I've found that I get this black screen. This is the virtual lab I'm looking at, but it's just a black screen with no icons and no other useful information. What I've found is that if I wait a few minutes, it will appear. So last time it took 5 minutes. We'll see how long it takes this time. So until then, I'm going to pause. Okay, resuming recording. It took about 5 minutes for the icons to load onto the virtual desktop. I'm not sure why. I'm going to try to get ITS to speed that up. But for now, we're also waiting for some icons at the bottom here. There they are. Okay. You just have to be a little patient, I guess. So first thing we're going to do is I want to show you how you can map network drives. Now, even though you're connected now to the virtual lab, which is just, again, a remote desktop you're tunneling into, you're going to have to connect that virtual lab to network drives that host either our software programs or host our data. Okay. So the first thing you want to do is click on the yellow folder at the bottom here, the File Explorer icon. Click on that, and you'll click on this PC. And what you're looking for are two different network drives. One is called Library Student 1. Hopefully you're connected to that. If not, I'll show you how to connect that one. The reason we need to be connected to that one is because it houses the Stata software that we're going to be using. So we won't be able to use Stata if we're not connected to that drive. Okay, I am going to disconnect from that one since I'm already connected. Hopefully you see that though. The other one is the GIS Data Serve Students network drive. I'm already connected to it. Here's what it looks like, Students GIS Data Serve. I'm going to disconnect from that as well. Okay. Now you may have different ones. I'm connected to a few others, but those are the two we're going to want. So if you're connected to one of those already, good. If not, then you'll need to map both. Now the way to map up is to go up here, Map Network Drive, and we'll do the library one first. This one I want you to set the top window to G. Okay, so G. And then in the folder window, we're going to type in \\, that's just above your enter key. Student 1, the number 1, \, library. Okay, again, you can see that example here shows you the direction of those backslashes. So \, student 1, \, and then you'll reconnect it, sign in. Okay, so make sure everything is just so, and hit finish. Okay, we'll come back to that in a bit. But now we need to map to the GIS data serve for students network drive. We're going to map that network drive. This one we're going to set to S. Okay. So please set that to S. There's reasons for that. Just set it to S. Then it's going to be // GIS data serve. Make sure it goes right. / students. Okay. So again, S / GIS data serve / students, and reconnect it, sign in, hit finish. Okay. So those are the two that we're going to need you to be mapped to, and it should be, you only have to do that once, especially if you reconnect it, log in, it should be fine. They should be there the next time you log into the virtual lab. Now, with that last one, with the GIS Data Serve Students Network Drive, this has a bunch of folders. Most of those are individuals, some are classes. You'll see we have a class folder, SO130 Fall 2021. That's our folder. Get in there, it has a data folder, has a students folder, and has a folder for me. In the students folder, double click, I want you to create your own folder. Okay, I already created one for myself. Here, you would just click new folder. Don't use any weird symbols and don't use spaces. Okay, just keep things really simple. So, and if I wanted to create John Doe, okay. Then inside of that one, I want you to create another folder called Play. This is a folder where as you create stuff and you're just playing around, you're going to save it to that Play folder. As we go along, you're going to create other folders for different projects, and you'll have just a file directory so that you won't be mixing and matching data files and getting everything messed up. Okay, so create yourself a folder and create a Play folder for now. I'm going to delete this. Okay. Now, the last thing I want you to show you how to do is how to, if you don't already see ArcMap, which is the GIS software program we're going to be using, or Stata on your virtual lab desktop, I'll show you how you can create these shortcut icons. Okay. The first one is we're going to need to go into we're in the File Explorer here. We've already mapped the library drive. We're going to double click on that library drive. There's a bunch of Stata folders. You want just the Stata, the basic Stata folder. And then you're going to be looking for the shortcut icon. Okay. And you can just right click on it and go to Send to Desktop Create Shortcut. Okay, I'm not going to do it because I already have it, but that's how you create that shortcut icon. Okay. Now for the ArcMap 10.7.1, if you don't see that and you need to create it, click on the local disk C. Then you're going to go to, scroll down here on the right, scroll down until you get to Program Files 86. Double click there. Then you're going to double click on ArcGIS, Desktop 10.7. And then you're going to go into Bin. Okay. And scroll down until you get to ArcMap. Right there, the application. So ArcMap, the application, you right click, send to desktop, create shortcut. Okay. So that's how you can create shortcut icons so you don't have to go through the process of getting those up and running all the time. Okay. So that's how you get ready for the use on Virtual Lab. Now, one thing I'll point out is this interface may look a little bit different if it's PC or Mac that you're working on, but before you log off, one thing you don't want to do is ever hit this X, because that seems like it might close down the session, but it leaves it running behind the scenes. You just don't want to do that. You can use the minimize and so on, but you don't want to hit the X ever. To disconnect and log off, I usually click Options, Disconnect and Log Off. Again, it's going to look somewhat different on a Mac. So you're going to look for something that's disconnect or disconnect and log off. Okay. Alternatively, if you go down to the window icon here, and if I do a normal click on it, it's not working, but if I do a right click on it, I get a menu and I can see shutdown or sign out. You can probably just disconnect here. Okay. And then you can, what I always say is you want to go the further process of actually disconnecting from VLab or from view.colorado entirely. So you want to find this a little plugin icon and disconnect from the server. Okay. Hit OK. And that fully logs you off. So you always want to make sure you do those 2 steps to disconnect and log off. Okay, that's it. And that gets you ready to work with VLab for the course.